Hello, my name is Carissa Stronick. I'm a TBI survivor. Allow me to introduce myself. As I said, my name is Carissa Stronick. I am 28 years old. I live in Strongsville, Ohio with my mom and younger brother. I also have a younger sister and two older half-brothers. I have a large extended family with aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. I am a dog mom to Biggie Smalls. He can't rap, but he can sure sing. My mama is my #1 hero and supporter. She's my everything. Without her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. She makes sure I never went without and will always chase my dreams. She never accepts no for an answer, and to this day encourages I have the best of everything I need to help me become independent as possible. This is my family. More pictures of the fam. Growing up, I was very outgoing and got good grades. I love sports like basketball, track, playing football with the boys, and roller skating. I was also about to enter MMA. I also found myself with a crowd that liked to party, that involved drinking alcohol, sometimes smoking marijuana, and making questionable teenage decisions. I was dating my boyfriend Jeremy for 10.5 months. He was the cousin of my good friend, and my family always tells me that he wasn't even really my type, so why I was even with him, I'm not even sure. What I didn't know about Jeremy was he had a suspended driver's license and was on probation for causing a 2009 crash that injured a North Canton police chief. That same year, he was convicted in a house explosion. He and an accomplice ruptured a gas line while stealing copper pipes out of the house, causing it to explode. That was me 1.5 months before my crash, exactly 1 week before. I was 16 years old on the morning of September 24th, 2010. I was standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus to take me to school. Jeremy stopped by and offered me a ride. I got on the back of his 1993 Yamaha motorcycle, traveling west on Everhard Road, northwest in Plain Township. He was wearing a helmet. I was not. I soon realized that we were not heading towards school. Traffic was moving slow, and Jeremy veered into the oncoming lane to pass. As he did, a white 1996 Ford Winster turned left onto Strantmore Drive. We were traveling at 80 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour speed zone and plowed head-on into the van, throwing me at least 50 feet into a metal pole. I was unconscious and needed 4 rounds of CPR. My 3 angels. Julia, she was the one that called 911. Melinda was the lady that gave me 4 rounds of CPR. And Todd was that late paramedic that took action. I was in a coma and given a 1% chance to live. The doctors asked my mom to donate my organs. She refused and demanded that they do everything in their power to save my life. I had a trach and was on a vent to help me breathe. I had a G-tube placed to help me eat and drink. I had part of my skull removed to relieve the pressure in my brain. I broke my right femur bone in 3 places, one of the hardest bones to break in the human body. I have a metal rod holding it together. I woke up from my coma after a month and was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. My right eye had detached and rolled to the side. Eventually, I would have 2 surgeries to correct this and wore eye patches on my left eye to strengthen it. My mouth was wired shut. That was until I pulled those bad boys out and hid them under my pillow on that little rubble. Traumatic brain injury, also TBI, occurs when a sudden trauma causes damage to the brain. TBI can result when the head suddenly and violently hits an object or when an object pierces the skull and enters brain tissue. Symptoms of a TBI can be mild, moderate, or severe, depending on the extent of the damage to the brain. Disabilities resulting from a TBI depend upon the severity of the injury, the location of the injury, and the age and general health of the person. Some common disabilities include problems with cognition, thinking, memory, and reasoning, sensory processing, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, communication, expression, and understanding, and behavior or mental health, depression, anxiety, personality changes, aggression, acting out, and inappropriate social skills. My TBI. It takes me a little longer to understand and comprehend. Sometimes I might need things read to me several times out loud and may need things explained in simple terms. Difficulty walking unassisted, that's why I use my walker. Lack of taste and smell, that's why I add hot sauce, salt, and pepper to just about everything that I eat. No feeling in my right hand. Trouble remembering, but I recognize faces, and I love taking selfies and lots of pictures. I participated in intensive inpatient physical, occupational, and speech therapy. I had to relearn how to do everything we take for granted: talking, standing, walking, dressing, eating, and using the restroom. I also had to relearn fine motor skills, like how to grasp things, write, and brush my own teeth. I had to stand in a stand-up for an hour. It took that one time I didn't stand up for an hour, my mom left me without saying goodbye. I'd call her up on the phone, be like, Mom, I've been standing in it for an hour and 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes more than what I'm supposed to. Please come visit me. And the doctors and nurses and therapists all said that that was awesome that she did that, because they've never had a parent that did that. And my mom said, well, she's got to learn that she's got to do it, because she's got to be able to want to help herself, because no one's going to do it for her. I also got to meet 2 Browns players at the time when I had my trach. I finally went home on February 4th, 2011, 5 months after my crash occurred. I was still dependent on people to provide physical assistance to get me in and out of bed, in and out of my wheelchair, in and out of the shower, getting dressed, using the restroom. Sometimes I used a bedside commode, and of course being transported places. I participated in intensive outpatient therapy, physical, occupational, and speech, Monday through Friday, not only to regain my physical strength and daily living skills, but to catch up on schoolwork. I learned very quickly who the important people are in my life, as those who claimed they were friends no longer were around, but that only made me stronger and appreciate the relationships that I have with those who truly matter now. I didn't find out who my crash happened with until my mom handed me this article that outlined what happened. I got to go to court. Jeremy had a blood alcohol level of 0.111%. The legal limit for under 21 drivers in 2010 was 0.001, currently 0.002, and had cocaine and prescription medication in his system at the time of the crash. Jeremy pled guilty to aggravated vehicular assault and vehicular assault, both felonies and misdemeanors counts of operating a vehicle under the influence of alcohol, a drug of abuse, or a combination of them both, while driving under suspension. Jeremy was sentenced to a 4-year prison term and had his license suspended for 10 years. As a result of the crash, Jeremy is also paralyzed on the right side of his upper body and would eventually have his right arm amputated. Jeremy offered me a heartfelt apology in court, and I accepted it. Holding a grudge or anger wasn't going to do anything positive for me. I was responsible for making the decision to get on the motorcycle that day. It doesn't mean that I forget what happened or that it excuses him from the harm done to me, but it brings peace to help me move on with my life. We did write to each other when he was in prison and still keep in touch sometimes to this day. I participated in the SAD program at school. SAD stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions Like Drunk Driving. I was able to share my story and speak in front of the whole school. I was also able to speak to the graduate seniors in 2014 before prom and share my story in hopes of encouraging them not to drive while under the influence. One of my greatest accomplishments was not only graduating from high school, but walking across the stage. My mom advocated for me to be able to walk to get my diploma, as the school was against it due to time constraint. June of 2014, I became a graduate of Valley Forge High School in Parma, Ohio. The whole audience rose to their feet and applauded for me, one of the best memories of my life. This is proof you can still do anything you put your mind to and never give up. My tattoo, Never a Victim, Forever a Fighter, because of 9/24/10. I have a backfilm pump that gets refilled every 6 months to decrease the spasticity in my legs. I receive Botox injections in my legs every 3 months to treat the increased muscles tones in my ankles, toes, and calves. I wear ankle-foot orthopedics, AFOs, or splints as I call them, to help control my inabilities in my legs, keeping them in proper alignment so that I can balance and walk safely. I still attend physical therapy to work on my mobility, stamina, and strength. I use a walker, a power wheelchair for long distances, and a tub chair. I take daily medicine for migraines. Stephanie, my independent provider. She is an amazing woman that I am honored to get to work with. It is because of her that I am being able to tell my story and being able to speak. And also because of her, I am becoming more independent with my budgeting, cooking, and shopping skills. Thanks, girl. Love you, Stephanie. These are my friends from before my crash till now. They are amazing. I can mow the grass, I can cook some things, I can babysit, I can go to the gym to work out, I can shop by myself. I can do anything you can do, just a little differently and with a little more time. Myrtle Beach has water wheelchairs that they will get fined if they do not have these available. I found that so amazing. So here are some selfies from me swimming, to cooking, to at the zoo, and to shopping. Here are some more selfies of me on a boat floating down the river, me at swings and things on a motor boat. The middle one is at a bridal shower where it says I'm sexy and I know it. And on the far right is another swimming selfie. I volunteer at the Kids Book Bank. It's one good way to give back to the community. Another way that I help get back to the community is this program. It's because I said I would. It's about keeping your promises. I also help with the mailing and stickering. Mailing. My first speaking engagement in Van Wert, Ohio, I spoke to those in recovery and recovery supporters. A highlight of my career so far, I was a guest speaker at the Front Steps Youth Summit that brought together youth from across the city of Cleveland to address critical issues that they face daily. Project STIR helped me get self-advocate and self-determination. It was a great opportunity that I got to be involved with. My dreams came true. I am a motivational speaker. I know that I have a story to share with others. It is my hopes that if I can touch and help at least one person in this life, it will mean the world to me. I've learned that after everything that I've been through, to never give up. If you don't give up, you'll achieve. I made the choice to get on the motorcycle that day. It was a choice that will affect me physically, mentally, and emotionally for the rest of my life. I have no regrets because I can't go back and change it. I must focus on me now so that it makes a better future for myself. But if I can share my story and prevent what happened to me from happening to someone else, that will mean the world to me. I was lucky to come out this alive. The next person may not be. Hope. I love sunflowers. Thank you so much for the kindness. God bless you. My business info.